Hey YouTube world, harvest is plenty. I hope everybody is doing well, and thank you for stopping by to check out the video. I ran across some headlines that I wanted to share with you. They're preparing for war, and they're trying to get their citizens prepared. So the EU, they urge their citizens to stockpile at least 3 days or 72 hours worth of supplies, food, water, medicine, all the typical stuff that we talk about. And we're going to go through these articles. This is on CNN, so in case you guys were wondering where did I see this, this is a CNN article, as you can see at the top, and it's dated March 26th of 2025. You see this lady here in the grocery store aisle. She looks like she's getting some stuff. But here's what the article said. It said the European Union citizens should stockpile enough food and other essential supplies to sustain them for at least 72 hours in the event of a crisis, the EU Commission has said. In new guidance released Wednesday, the Commission stressed the need for Europe to shift its mindset to foster a culture of preparedness and resilience. The 18-page document warns that Europe is facing a new reality marked with risk and uncertainty, citing Russia's full-scale war in Ukraine, rising geopolitical tension, sabotage of critical infrastructure, and electronic warfare as prominent factors. The Brussels initiative appears to serve as a wake-up call for member states to the gravity of the bloc's security situation. And it goes on to say this. It says, the Commission's European Preparedness Union strategy says citizens across the continent should adopt practical measures to ensure they are ready in case of an emergency. This includes having enough essential supplies to last them for a minimum of 3 days, the document says. In the case of extreme disruptions, the initial period is the most critical. Overall, citizens should be encouraged to foster self-reliance and psychological resilience, the document says. The Commission also calls for introduction of preparedness lessons in the school curricula, including giving pupils the skills to fight disinformation and information manipulation. So isn't that interesting? 3 days of food, water, supplies. They're stressing self-reliance and psychological resilience. And they're going to start handing out pamphlets in France, and we're going to get to that as well. That's the next article that I came across. As you can see here, it says France to distribute survival manual to prepare households for emergencies including armed conflict. And this is dated March 19th, 2025. This is also on CNN in case you guys want to look this document up. I'll look at any other news articles concerning this. There's also been news conferences and video about it as well that I'm sure that you guys could find on social media. But this says France is preparing to distribute a survival manual to every household to help citizens prepare for imminent threats, including armed conflict on French soil. The survival manual aims to encourage citizens to develop their resilience in the face of different crises. A spokeswoman for Prime Minister Francois Bayrou told CNN on Wednesday. This includes natural disasters, technological and cyber incidents, health crises like COVID-19, and security crises like terrorist attacks and armed conflicts. If approved by Bayrou, the 20-page booklet will be delivered to households before the summer. And here's kind of an idea of the 72-hour kit that they're telling people in France to get. You see radio, medicine, first aid kit. This right here looks like a multi-tool. Food, non-perishable food. Flashlight, batteries, water. Photocopies of important documents, and all of these things. It goes on to say this. The French plans follow updates to similar booklets issued to millions of households in Sweden and Finland, which includes instructions on how to prepare for the effects of military conflicts, communication outages, and power cuts, as well as extreme weather events. So not only France, but also Sweden and Finland are telling their citizens to prepare. So guys, we know conflict is coming. There's 3 things I've always said that must happen. World War III, that's a necessity. That's going to happen. We're going to see a financial crash, the likes of what we've never have seen before, because they have to take that down in order to bring up the new digital currency that they want. And we're going to see a grid down. I'm not a prophet or anything. I can't tell you it's going to happen on this date at this time, but those things are coming down the road. When could it be? This year, next year, the next year after that? I don't know. I do know France, Sweden, Finland, the European Union, they're warning their people. In America, September is considered National Preparedness Month, and in September they typically, put out these warnings and things like that. But America is so different. We're not going to warn the people when something is getting ready to happen. Just my opinion and my belief. We're too political, and those in power are going to use it for their advantage. The Democrats are going to say, if you voted for me, these things would have never happened. The Republicans are going to say the same thing. Also, they want you to rely on the state, to need big government, to take care of you. And it's all part of this New World Order plan that's coming anyway. It's problem, reaction, solution. The same Hegelian dialectic game they're going to play on the masses. I would encourage you to be self-reliant, as the article said, psychologically resilient. Prepare. Things that you're going to need is what we talked about a lot on my channel. You're going to need food. If they say 3 days or 72 hours, I would say multiply that by 5 or 10. Because really, you should have at least 14 days. That's the minimum standard in America, 14 days of food, water, and supplies on hand. If you don't have 14 days, as I said before, and if money is tight, I know a lot of people are losing their job right now, you can start at the dollar store. I started at the dollar store prepping and buying some things there a long time ago. So you could always go to the dollar store and start prepping and preparing for this stuff. A little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. You don't have to take a whole bunch of money and buy a whole bunch of stuff at one time, but gather some food, gather some water. Now, one thing about water, you're going to need way more than what you think you will need, because you're going to need water for cooking, for cleaning, for sanitation reasons, also for drinking. So think about that. A lot of people are buying a lot of 30-year food, freeze-dried food, and all of this stuff. A lot of beans people are buying. I'm looking at different people on YouTube saying, "Oh, I got a stockpile of beans and stuff." Well, you're gonna need water to cook beans, a lot of water, not only for beans but for other food. So think about how much water you're gonna need just for cooking purposes. If you gather water from rivers, streams, lakes, or from rain, if you have rain barrels or water catchment systems, you're gonna need a way to purify the water that you get. So think about life straws, Berkey filters, Sawyer filters. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there. I actually just added something to my kit. I'm going to put a video up about it, showing how to purify water. It's really cool and neat. So I'll make a video about that and put that up. Think about your communications plan. Think about backup power. I've always talked about you guys are going to need backup power, especially if you have like refrigerators, deep freezers and stuff stored up with food. If the power goes out, if you don't have a backup power supply, all of that food is going to spoil, and you're going to have to either cook it immediately or throw it away. So think about that. Think about security. I've always talked about that. One of the things I've always said on my channel is protect yourself at all times. Make sure that you have a security plan, because when the power goes out and the grocery stores are closed and there's no cell phone towers working, there's no water coming out the taps, people can no longer go to the banks and get money. It's going to be chaos in America. And one thing about America is that a lot of people have guns, a lot of people are armed, a lot of people are on different types of medications and drugs and antidepressants, and they're taking all of this stuff. A lot of people are on drugs. A lot of people are just crazy and psychotic, to be honest. You're going to have to defend yourself and defend your family and probably even your community, because people are going to come through looking for food, looking for water, because they never prepared. So they're going to be looking to take what they don't have. So the rape, robbing, and pillaging will begin. And you guys need to be ready for that. Get your spiritual house in order. Make sure you seek out the salvation of Christ. Another thing, physical fitness. That should be at the top of your list as well. Try to get physically fit. It's starting to get warm outside. Spring is starting to come in, and then it's going to be summer. Try to, get yourself in shape. If you can't run, maybe you can walk. If you can't walk, or maybe you can bike, or whatever case may be. Just, try to get your endurance level up. Get your health together. healthy people could endure a lot more stress than non-healthy people. It's going to be some stressful times ahead. So just make sure that you look at everything that you need. Make sure you have medicine. If you're on any type of medication, see can you store up a little medicine. Maybe if you're taking 5 pills a day, maybe see if you can take 2 to 3 pills a day and store the extra ones and save it to the side. Um, you know, I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor about it and see if they can give you some extra medication. I told you guys about having extra antibiotics. I'm going to do a video about that. There's 3 main companies that I've seen that have decided to jump into that area for storing up antibiotics in case of emergencies and stuff. A lot of times with these antibiotics and medicines and stuff like that, if you store it for a long time, it starts to lose some of its effectiveness or potency. But at least you still have it. I'd rather have something than not have it at all. But it's up to you. Um, I'll come back with some more videos to touch on these topics. I love you guys. Continue to pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Keep love in your heart. Protect yourself at all times. Stay fit. Smile. Go out there and enjoy life. Because when the bad times do come, it's going to come. And, we're going to wish for the good times. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. God bless.